beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have my little book, so you know it's going to be a bit of a talky video, and this is another episode in my series of Virgin Islands education story, where I talk about my academic journey from applications to school, which I actually start next week. I am very excited about it. But I did, before I tell you guys where I ended up going, which will be in a video that will be in the iCard, I also wanted to talk about my admissions process with the United Kingdom. I applied to 5 schools there, and it was a journey. That application process is pretty difficult in a completely different way than the US one. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. For both my US and my UK applications, I used Crimson Education. They gave me a scholarship, and I am eternally grateful because their help has been invaluable. Crimson Education is an organization that offers both academic tutoring and admissions counseling. And before anybody gets nervous, this is not a varsity blues situation. This is not a pay your way into Oxford. This is not a Harvard backdoor. That is not what this is. This is real admissions advice. And I found that to be really helpful because it's always been my belief that if you need answers, you go to an expert, and that's what they have. Crimson Education helped me every single step of the way, from navigating the UCAS system, which I'm a British Overseas Territory citizen. We exist in a little bit of a gray area. It's really confusing to me, so it was really helpful to have a resource that had all the answers, to matching me with schools that were really conducive to my goals and degrees that I didn't even know existed even after hours of researching, to the tutoring that I needed for my November 2020 exams. Every step of the process, they were there for me. And it was especially helpful for that UK personal statement because you have 4,000 characters to express your academic identity, who you are as a student, to talk about your relevant experiences, and to talk about the subject matter that you're applying for with detail. 4,000 characters, not a lot of time. I wanted to give the world's biggest thanks to Crimson Education for allowing me to get this far, for helping to match me with my schools, for helping me with my personal statement, for helping me with the tutoring for everything. For everything. You guys should see this book, the list of things that they helped me with. Amazing. And then also offering that to me as a scholarship student, I'm just eternally grateful. So I'll start with University of Manchester. As I wasn't very familiar with the UK process, I also wasn't the most familiar with UK schools. Like many of you, I had heard of Cambridge and Oxford and the London School of Economics, and that was the extent of my knowledge. So I actually got to learn about a bunch of new schools that I didn't before know about. And one of them was University of Manchester, where I got a conditional offer to study philosophy, politics, and economics, which you know is the subject of my dreams. My mentor suggested that I apply there because they have an absolutely beautiful campus. It is a town. I wanted to be in somewhere that was kind of like a city environment, coming from a very small island, and they have excellent teaching, which was a really big deal to me as someone who really struggles in math. I knew that the economics portion was going to be difficult for me, so I wanted those extra resources, and I got it. The next school that I applied to on that list is King's College London. I had actually applied there last year, and I received a conditional offer both last year and this year. I really liked that program because I had also applied for philosophy, politics, and economics. Their program is very quantitatively based, it's very research based, and I thought that if I could interact with the maths more often, that I would get better at it. So that was why I chose that program and to apply to that school. The next school is University College London to study international social and political studies. Now, this school, boom, blew my mind. It is in the heart of London. It is absolutely beautiful, and this program, I mean, it was a perfect match for me. It allows you to learn your language. Actually, let me explain. It is philosophy, politics, and economics with a language. That is how it's dubbed on its website. And it allows you to learn your language so well that you will speak it with the clarity of someone who took that language as a degree. I would have tracked into the economics portion, but not pure economics. I would have been in the essence of economics or qualities of economics portion. That's like one step down from the economics track, just because I did not have the math requirement for it. It's me in math. is me in the maths. I took standard level mathematics, and the reason why I took standard level mathematics is because it was requisite for the next course that I'm going to mention, but it wasn't high enough to get me into the economics focus for University College London. Hi guys, it's Editor Kathleen. This is something that I actually wanted to note about the UK admissions process that I actually did not know when I was picking my IB classes that would have been helpful. So hopefully this is useful to you. When I was applying for these universities, I found out that for pretty much anything that touched economics, I needed to have taken higher level mathematics. I chose standard level mathematics because that fulfilled the requirement for Oxford's PPE program, but a lot of programs required mathematics at the higher level. I did not know that, so I did not take mathematics at the higher level, and it would have been very helpful to know, so now hopefully you know. The other reason why I actually decided not to go to this school, even though I was accepted and it was a near perfect match for me, is because, like many of the schools that I applied to in the United Kingdom, they didn't have a lot of classes that specifically pertain to the Caribbean, and I want to study the economic development and the economic history of the Caribbean. There just weren't very many resources for that, but I absolutely loved everything else about this school, and when it came down to the school that I chose and University College London, this is one of the hardest decisions that I ever had to make. Hello, it's Editor Kathleen. I wanted to make a note about University College London. Not going to this school particularly hurt because I got special clearance into that program. And I'm actually going to read my acceptance letter here. You guys saw the letters in the US videos. They weren't too hot, but this one was a real win for me. Dear Kathleen, we are delighted to inform you that you have been successful in your application to European and International Social and Political Studies at University College London. Our admissions round is extremely competitive, and we would like to congratulate you on your success. Most of the applications whom we selected are required to take our thinking skills assessment, which is now available online. However, we also make direct offers to a number of truly outstanding applicants on the basis of their UCAS form and academic record alone. We are very pleased to confirm that you have been selected on this basis, and as a result, you do not need to take the TSA. We very much look forward to meeting you at our online admissions day. That one was a real win for me, especially in my pettiness, in my petty little heart of hearts. It was especially nice because UCL outranks most of the schools that rejected me in the US. And if rankings are something that are important to you, that one was a win. The next school that I applied to, of course, you guys already know, I applied for philosophy, politics, and economics at Oxford University. Now, I did not get in. But you guys know that because of this video that is in the iCard. I did not get into Oxford to study philosophy, politics, and economics. But I will tell you a little bit about what I love about their program so much. Like the University College London program, you can track with it, but there are also a lot of really interesting electives that you can take in addition to the degree that I thought might help to round my understanding of economics, politics, philosophy, and a little bit of history in there in terms of the Caribbean. I really did love that program, but I did not get into that one. The last school that I applied to is the London School of Economics to study economic history. And you guys, this one was a true nail biter and a true heart breaker. They took a long time in deliberating for this one. In fact, I got back my verdict on April 16th, which they said was the last day that they were sending out verdicts. And what it was is that this year there was just a massive number of applications, and even though in previous years my application would have been the perfect match, I was just edged out by another student, which, not gonna lie, that hurts, but it really was helpful to know why I did not get in. It wasn't ambiguous. A lot of schools have been quite ambiguous. You didn't get in. We had a lot of people apply this year. We had a lot of people apply this year and you were almost in and someone else edged you out. And, I can live with that. In terms of the school that I decided to go to, I decided to go to it for a similar reason: resources. That's the same reason I wanted to go to London School of Economics to study economic history, because they had the resources for me to study the development of the Caribbean and the development of this hemisphere with depth. So those are the 5 schools that I decided to apply to in the United Kingdom, and why I decided to apply to them. A special thank you again to Crimson Education for really guiding me through this process and giving me the resources that I needed to really thrive and have a chance with these schools. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed this installment of A Virgin Islands Education Story. As many of you already know, I am running for Miss British Virgin Islands, so if you would like to make a donation to the Bank of Miss BVI, please buy me a coffee with the link in description and a note that says Miss BVI at the end. And I will see you next time. Bye!